Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. I have three very special guests with me. I have Hyroglphik Games. Yay! Do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Do whatever you want to do.
Sure. We're Hyroglphik Games. I'm Ben, and this is.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Sock.
And we make games.
I'm Sock.
For teens.
Yeah, they make games. Well, they made this game, King of the Hat. Yay! Okay, I'll stop that. So welcome. We're going to play King of the Hat today, which is kind of in like pre-alpha, which is what they told me.
Almost alpha.
Almost alpha, so it's still pretty new, but they were at Comic-Con with us, and it was a fun game. There were children screaming, and I wanted them on the stream. So now they're on the stream.
So now you get to watch more children scream.
And yes, they brought me a hat, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, we've all got hats.
Yay! Hi,
In
Eve.
case you couldn't see.
Nice of you to drop in.
Nice hats.
And channel absolute zero.
Oh, it's Calvin!
Hey,
That's our friend from class.
Aww.
He has his own streaming thing too.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Hey, look at his logo. His logo's awesome.
He's got a logo?
It's a cool hat. It's a crown.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That's a
We're geeking out.
that's a Twitch.
Yeah.
We're totally geeking out.
Hey
Hello.
Sin, how you doing?
Hello.
That's our artist.
So should we let's explain the game?
Yeah.
Should we
Story?
Should we
Some
dive
story
in?
first?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
You want to take it away?
Sure. All right. So, King of the Hat is a special game. It's a game that takes place in a world where everyone is born with a hat on already, and their hat hosts their soul. It's also like their personality, and it's their everything. And basically, if nobody can die in this world unless the hat gets crushed, and if the hat gets crushed, they die. So that's pretty much the premise of the game.
That's a good backstory. I like the lore.
So you
Hello. I'm gonna assume these are all your friends.
We don't know.
Tony, I don't know. Tony looks cool.
Yeah, Tony seems like a cool guy.
Cool.
What's up, Tony?
Oh, God, he's there. That's my girlfriend.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, that's our first stream, so it's pretty exciting.
It's not my first stream, so it's less exciting. But I'm excited to play the game.
Let's do it. Okay.
Alright, so you guys have a bunch of game modes, obviously, or
Is that Tony
chapters.
Gone? Is it Tony Gone?
Oh, maybe it's Tony.
I don't know. There you go.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of these game modes. These are like all like planned, they're in the works, but the main one that we're going to be showing off today is Last Hat Standing, where the point of the game is to crush all of your opponent's hats.
Okay.
So you can pick one of these hat-based characters.
Wait,
I
want to know.
I like Cole. Who picked Cole? Was it you,
I
Chris?
want to be a princess.
Sock, can you pick
Oh,
Cole?
I'm cool, yeah.
I want to be
Sorry,
Cole. You can be
forgot
Cole if you want to be Cole.
I'm going to be...
Oh, it's Tony Doan. What up, Tony Doan?
I want to be Cole.
Wait, I want to know about these characters.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So basically, Fat Cat, he's the villain of the game. He's kidnapped all the other characters, and he's forced them to fight on his TV show. So that's why it says choose the cast. He's a big jerk. Well, he doesn't see himself as a jerk, but I think he's a jerk because he's basically, forced them to fight like gladiators for a profit, which in his defense is like a pretty viable business strategy, but not ethical. So that's his story. Birthday is like happy-go-lucky kid. It's his birthday today, and tomorrow, and the next day, and yesterday. It's always his birthday.
How old is the birthday kid?
So we're born today.
Born today.
Today's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
Yeah.
It's always his birthday.
Okay.
Kiara, she's our lovely princess. Except she's not. She used to be lovely. Now she's like pretty upset that Fat Cat, took her kingdom from her. Like when he captured all the other characters, so her hair turned red. It used to be like blonde or brown. We don't really know, but now it's just like fire red.
So at
Nice.
this point in the game, we're at a point where no one knows where the king is.
Okay.
And so they're kind of hoping that the king can come back and restore order. And so Kiara is trying to become the next ruler so that she can restore order without her father coming back.
Okay. I like how this has such an extensive backstory to everyone.
Oh, it gets more. It gets deeper still.
Oh, okay.
We can,
But wait, okay, who's next?
Captain Hat. So basically he's got an inferiority complex. He's really short, but he's got the tallest hat.
Yeah.
Which makes him one of the tallest characters.
Yeah, he's based off of me. JK smiles.
And so
Not really though.
he's faster. he's faster when he has no hat on because he wants to go pick up his hat again because he doesn't want people to perceive him as being short.
Okay.
He's good. He lives a good life. Snapback, man. Snapback. She's cool. She's like she's a ninja, and she can jump 3 times and stick to walls because she's a ninja. She knows
Naturally.
Taekwondo Jitsu.
Her
And
Her master was Beast Lee.
Okay.
Anyways, we got Dark Birthday, who's basically this mysterious, like, inverted version of Birthday that has just kind of like manifested from ooze.
Like the story of Dark Birthday is that Fat Cat was working in collaboration with Father McDaddy, who's basically an evil haberdasher.
Okay.
And they built this. They took Birthday's hat and they infused like this dark slime into it to make it evil. And then they had Birthday completely under their control.
So is it not his birthday every day?
Oh,
It's his Dark Birthday.
he has no emotion.
Dark party.
Yeah. Man, Cole, the Yeti.
Cole was like in hibernation when all this was happening, and then they
Okay.
just scooped him up, and he's like, "Why am I here?"
Love it.
Don't be lost.
Washing machine's super interesting. Let's
Yeah.
all be washing machines.
So the thing about washing machine is because they live in this world where hats are so valuable
Yes.
that everybody worships washing machines because washing machines keep their hats clean.
Oh,
But-
I like it.
But this is Fat Cat's washing machine, and Fat Cat disrespects his washing machine all the time. So washing machine's sad.
That's not cool.
Yeah,
That's not cool.
Yeah, Fat Cat.
that's why washing machine's so sad.
Wait, I'm gonna say hi to people in chat. Hello, Chronoblast Games. Channel. Wait, I already said hello to Channel Absolute Zero. But hi again, Nayuchi. I'm totally demolishing all these names. And Elliot.
Elioti.
Elioti.
Elliot.
Whatever. Hats.
Hats. We got hats.
Woo. Forest.
Forrest. He's the wise old man of Hatlandia.
He's the oldest Atlantean alive.
Yeah.
He's also very ready to die and move on to the great beyond, but unfortunately he can't because he feels he still has duties to do because of this whole thing with Fat Cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a tragic backstory.
And he's a very special character because he's a haberdasher, which is somebody who mends hats.
Oh.
So he's actually like a healer of sorts in this world. You know, he's able to kind of like, you know, if your hat gets a kink in it and suddenly like you have a broken arm, he's like, let me just take a look at that. He'll fix it up in the arm. You know.
Naturally.
It gets fixed.
Then we can unlock characters.
Yeah, so this is the newest character that we've added, but we won't say too much about her.
Question mark character? Oh no, wait. Let me just move this. That's new. Yeah, they've apparently updated it.
Woohoo!
Woo! Let me see if I can.
Will be announced soon.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I fixed it.
All
Alright, so let's get started. I want to play. And I. Oh, he's so sad. He's so sad.
Sad boy.
I will protect sad boy. Ooh, okay.
What do you guys want to play? Snowy Land?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
Okay, let's go.
Ooh.
So yeah, just a refresher on the rules for the chat. The point of the game is to jump on other people's hats, not their heads, their hats. So like you can drop your hat, and throw it and knock other people's hats off. But if someone just jumps on my head and my hat's not on it, I'm still okay. But if someone drops on your hat, you're super dead. So
Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. The
That's the end.
Skangle washing machine? Yes.
hey, Christian, what's up, Christian? How's Germany?
Oh, Germany.
Yeah, Christian is our bud who's living in Montreal for a bit,
Oh.
and then he had to move back to Germany. But
Okay.
just love it.
And they all, okay, so one thing I do know about the game is that they also have kind of like unique abilities to them.
Yes.
Okay. So, wait, looks smooth. Yes, it is.
Oh, Chris
it
and
is.
Ben. Jack from Sullivan. Yeah. Oh my god.
You guys got two.
I love how
Oh, Jack Wilkin.
Yeah, Jack Wilkerson.
What's up, dude?
What's up, baby?
EGTV, you're from Germany. Hey! Hi from Canada.
I got killed.
Oh, snapback. Killing some dudes.
Oh, shoot.
Not much, man. Long time no see. Are you in Montreal still? Hitch 22. What's up?
Okay. Oh my god. No.
I'm moving to Germany.
Everyone's moving to Germany. I think we should move to Germany.
Yeah, maybe
It seems like it's a pretty hot spot.
washing machine. Oh, you're a washing machine, eh?
I am.
Wow.
So the funny thing about a washing machine is that she can't, or he, we don't really know, can't move on the ground much. It's too big to move on the ground, but it's got
All right, washing
insane,
machine. Let's go.
Shoot.
insane jump speed.
Alright.
Jumps.
Oh, nice! You're coming to Toronto this week, Montreal this weekend. Sweet, man.
Come by.
Hit us up. Are we having a party this weekend, or is it that's next week?
No, that's
Are
next
you
week.
inviting all of Twitch to your party?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Twitch, you want to come to the party?
Yeah, okay, so wait, I have a question about development because I'm curious.
Okay, I'll tell you to make question asking easier.
Alright. Oh jeez.
No.
Sorry, I got distracted. Oh man.
Do we have an office in MTL? Yeah, we have a King of the Hat corporate office, which happens to be in the Dawson cafeteria. So we've totally got a corporate office.
If you guys don't know, Dawson's a school here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you guys what was the hardest thing about making like a game or a multiplayer game, not just a game, like a multiplayer kind of local co-op thing.
Probably the bugs.
The bugs.
There's so many bugs, yeah.
Really?
Interactions, yeah, making sure that like when you get hit, you don't fly onto someone's hat and kill them, or like just making sure everything collides with itself properly and goes in the right direction. That was definitely
Yeah, consistent interactions overall. Just making sure that when you do an action, every time it's the same thing.
Right.
I would also say like having fun. Like at the beginning, like when we made the first prototype of this game, we thought it was so fun, but we was actually not at all. It was bad. And it was like an interesting process to like kind of fabricate like a fun experience that like, you know, people can like share together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, I was kicking butt. I got 5-1.
Oh, if you guys are around still, I'll probably see you guys. I signed up for the independent video game design course at Dawson. Oh,
That's
great.
awesome, Tony Doan.
Yeah, wait, you guys want to tell chat about, I guess
Sure.
both of you were in the game
Yeah,
program?
so Socrates and I just finished graduating from a new independent game design program that takes place at Dawson College in Montreal. It's free, which definitely beats all the other programs.
It's free?
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, it's
super crazy.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like got government subsidized. I think it's because it's like new and innovative and whatnot. And yeah, really great program. We just finished graduating from that, and this was our last semester project. And enough people like the game, so we're going to make it a real thing, or at least try to.
Oh shoot. Oh no.
Washing machine.
No.
Oh, close. Back hat, man.
Who's back cat?
It was I.
It was I.
Love it.
I'm dead.
How long has this been in development so far then?
It's been about 7 months.
Yeah, since January.
Since January.
Wait, is that 7 months? It's like 6.5.
6.5. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. 6.5.
Oh, okay. I mean, it feels really clean.
Oh, thanks.
I'm wondering. Oh jeez. Oh no. Okay. Need to make sure I'm winning before I can ask questions.
Yeah, you have a hard job because you gotta think of questions and also like when
Multitask. Oh,
This is the tech we've been discovering. Well, actually, Cal discovered the tech.
Yeah, we have this new. We made this new friend, or Sock and I made this new friend. Chris already knew him. His name's Callum, and he's like probably gonna be the best King of the Hat player of all
Just
time.
Callum.
Because he keeps inventing moves, so we try and learn the moves, but he's like one step ahead of us. So.
And he's naming them like
He's
in Super Smash. There's like the Ken combo, like a bunch of other named moves of people who invented really crazy tech. And so this guy's naming moves, and it's just so cool to see.
Okay. I got my question because I just lost.
Oh no. No.
I'm really curious to know like what you guys learned in game design school, I guess, because I think for a lot of people, like they kind of just get into it and not necessarily go to a specific program for it. So like, what was kind of the curriculum and all that? Like, was it really like textbook based? Did you guys just design things all the time?
The teachers are all like experts,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just first of all, it's like really nice to have people who know what they're talking about always around you.
Jam on the man!
Always there.
But yeah, it's really nice to have people who really know what they're talking about around you all the time. So if ever you have questions, you can have them answered really easily.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's really special about this program is that it's all the disciplines. So you learn programming, art, design, and business.
Mhm.
So what that gives us is a much more broad understanding of all the different aspects as well as our own specialties.
Right. Okay. Oh geez. Okay. Then skill testing question. What's the one best thing you've learned? Ooh.
The one best thing. Jeez,
Yeah,
that's
you gotta pick
tough
one.
one. Oh my
I
god.
think the best thing to know is like make sure you're working with people you really care about and like
I like that. That's wholesome, you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Family friendly.
Wholesome, family-friendly response. I like it.
All right,
Also-
who's Captain Hat?
I also think I haven't scored
It's you, Chris, eh? Yeah, I can see it's you. All right, let's fight. Oh, you're dead. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm not done. Yes, sir.
The hat, the captain. You can't
So
take down
wait,
the
how
captain,
did you
man. I run the
guys? You guys
show.
all meet in the program, not Ben, right?
I used to go to school with Ben. I was using the guy below me a long time ago. And Socrates and I met at school about 5-6 years ago and became pretty.
I think it's even more than that. I think it was
Yeah, 7.
8 years ago. So.
8. Wow.
Yeah,
Jesus.
because we were 18.
Yeah. Good
We met
point.
in badminton class.
Oh,
And I was not that good at Chris was my badminton. Haha, Ben.
Yeah, of course, I challenge you to badminton game one day.
I'm down because I'm not good. And I'm always down to get wrecked. I've been playing with one guy recently. He has not been showing any mercy.
Oof.
It has been great. Yeah, I'm super down.
Yeah. Wait, you didn't tell me about your one thing you learned in school.
Oh, geez. Number one thing I learned:
Mhm.
always be surrounded by people better than you.
Oh, Chris, you got
Oh,
it.
no. Oh, help.
Oh, I almost got the double kill.
Wow.
Double kill.
Look at this. Chris winning by a landslide.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely realizing that don't know anything and always just surround yourself with people that are better than you.
Mhm.
Be very humble and just ask questions.
Don't curse on camera, Sock.
Did I swear already?
What?
Did I swear already?
That's what it said.
Just watching me.
Okay.
Got your best.
I haven't tried Forest yet.
Forest.
Yeah, Force is OP if you know how to use it.
Oh, well, I don't. Oh, he's so slow.
Yeah, but his hat goes on forever.
Oh, who's Bear Cole?
Bear Cole.
I like Bear Cole.
Oh, you guys have different skins for the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different colors for now. We definitely want to do different skins.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
imagine a tiger. Imagine a hippo Cole.
We're trying to find something
That would
cute
make
to
sense.
Hey, that actually kind of like, but he kind
I
of
like
feels like a hippo,
Right? That's why I'm down for
He
hippo.
feels like a hippo.
Hi, Cole.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm dead. OG Cole's the winner.
Nice. What other features are gonna come? If you guys can tell, you can. Let's do that.
We have so many features that we want to put in.
Mhm.
Why don't we talk about features that are coming most like features that are coming the soonest.
Well, definitely a new character.
Yeah, new character, sound.
Yeah, that's what
and
we're
music.
working on. Writing some music.
C-bomb!
That's
That's it,
yeah, I
C-bomb.
did it. Yeah.
C-drop, man. But there's more with that bomb.
Yeah, we get that passive. That's it. Yes.
Oh, I'm
Did
dead.
you see that?
Okay, wait. So new character.
Okay, new characters. We definitely want to put in some new game modes. Like we've like been talking about a 2v2 game mode where you share a hat, so you can like pass it to your teammate back and forth,
Mhm.
and then like throw it at the other team.
Oh, okay.
And other game modes too. You know, we've got
Hatsky sack.
Hacky Sack and Hatskipball and
guys see us on the game there. Oh, I Kitfox.
or maybe
Wait. And games? You've seen Kitfox's game on the Game Dev Facebook group? Have you? I haven't posted anything in there. Was
Hooray!
Was it just organically there? Because if so, that's awesome.
I feel like I just like reading the chat.
I'm glad you
you know,
saw
like,
that.
I'm just like read the chat guy.
Yeah, no.
We need someone on that.
I wanted to escape.
Oh, sorry.
There was no escape.
Wait, and games, what did you see on the Facebook group? What game? Let me know. Is it the new one? I'm very excited about it.
Oh, I killed the wrong guy. I was supposed to kill you first.
Oh man,
Chris,
That wasn't me.
you guy.
Chris.
I'm brown Cole, man.
No, I'm Brown Cole.
Bro. Oh man, bye.
Oh, he's released.
Yeah, you got Ace Malaise.
Oh my god. Should we put that at some point in the thing?
Oh, I saw 2 characters much. Okay, they saw your game.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the graphics definitely improved. So it's pretty interesting because none of us are like particularly good artists. So Socrates, our main programmer, is also learning art at the same time.
Okay, well, do you guys want to tell them what your roles are? I guess.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
Socrates is pretty much the machine gun legs of this team, the one that takes all the damage and deals all the damage. He does. He's the main programmer, main artist, and also I guess and collabing with Ben on making the music. That's pretty beastly.
Yeah, I think we have like kind of an interesting way to approach roles because while all of us definitely have like lead things, like Sock is like lead programmer, lead animator and stuff like that. Chris is lead VFX and lead UI, and like I'm lead like on all of our like marketing and presence and business, and like Sock is probably going to be lead music. And I'll help him with that. We all kind of like really enjoy like learning about the other fields too, such that we can contribute if need be.
Yeah, I was describing it this morning as like almost like Swiss cheese departments, where like none of us are really good enough to do anything fully, but like one of the others will just fill in that last hole that the person can't do. Like I can do art, but I can't do VFX at all. So Chris just perfectly fills in like the Swiss cheese there.
Yeah, it's like like from He-Man, or no, is it He-Man or what's that thing where it's like when our powers combine? He-Man? No, Transformers.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Yeah, so we're kind of like Power Rangers, but who like turn into Swiss cheese. If that makes any sense.
That does make sense.
That makes sense.
I mean, it kind of does.
Okay.
So do you guys just kind of learn it by yourself? Or was it through the game design school?
A little bit of both. I really think that like it's the type of program that if you really work hard, you're gonna learn a lot of stuff. But you have to go on your own and do some learning because it's really about being around teachers who are so incredibly good at what they're doing that if you don't really ask the right questions, you're not going to learn the things that you need to learn.
Right.
So it's about going on your own, learning what you need to know, learning what questions to ask, and then having those people who can answer those questions.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Man.
Oh, well played. Who's washing machine?
I am.
Oh, well played.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you okay?
That's not too physical.
Don't crush your hats.
It was ankgames.com.
They want to know why we're not throwing or trying to crush each other's hats. That's a good question. Where's your hat? Let me destroy it. I'm destroying my own hat.
We don't want to kill
I want to rid
each other.
myself of this world.
We're not trying to kill each other, man.
I'm trying to be non-violent, but this game.
It's supposed to be family friendly. We're not going to kill each other.
Oh, well, I'm just going to kill you guys.
Oh.
Okay. We're back in.
Okay.
Alright, let's go to our birthday. What you got, Cole?
Oh, also, I forgot to mention, but if the chat has any questions, I mean, we've been reading it anyway, but if you guys have questions, feel free to throw it in. We'll answer them, or they will. Unrealistic game if you guys aren't doing it in real life.
Alright, you got points.
It's hard. This is an ARG. You actually have to crush everyone's hat in real life. Oh god.
The idea of crushing a hat in real life is like really sad. You know what I mean? Like remember, like if you had, no, you don't think so? Anyways,
No.
but like I think like
You'd be a stone killer in this world.
like I feel like if I were to take one of these like birthday hats off and like crush it, I'd be like, oh, that perfectly good thing. It's gone.
I mean, it'd be a waste of the environment, but otherwise.
Oh,
Bugs!
What?
Oh, is this
No, no,
it's not the new build.
Wait, what?
This can't be the new build.
No, that's probably just like I should fix that.
No, it's not the new
So
build.
it's a new build.
No, because I changed the platforms up here.
We're discovering new things.
Oh,
Are you
you know, I know
guys
what
gonna
it is.
have to create new stages then?
Yeah, absolutely. We have like 50 or so. We have a bunch of different ones.
50.
Yeah, they're just not it right
They're
now.
all good though.
Yeah, a lot of them are Caravaggio.
Okay, what makes a good stage
Oh,
level?
good question.
Oh my god,
Chris, take it away.
Oh my god.
Tell them the story.
Okay, so basically there's a lot of things that go into come into account when playing this. For levels, for this game specifically, for example, you can't have too many wide open spaces because if you throw your hat and you miss by too much, then it's way too punishing. So that's why we have pits like this and stuff, so like the battles can take place in areas, and the hats can't like go too far unless you really do a stupid hat throw. The other things are level size. We can't have it be too big because or else the camera zooms out too much and you can't see characters anymore or where your hat is when it comes off, and it becomes really hard to do anything. Then like I have to do some metrics on jumps. So, like this takes one jump to get up. These each take one jump. You can get up here for 2 jumps. And then I try to keep it so there's always kind of 2 options. So from here I can go here or the other place. Try to keep options open. Finally, there's like a minimum height that something can be above you, or else jumping feels really whack. You like hit the ceiling a lot.
There's also this. You need to have at least a couple of zones where Cole can jump.
Yeah.
Cole has this like super monster jump.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple of nice horizontal zones and a couple
Yeah,
of nice
you also
vertical
need
zones.
horizontal zones because Cole will do this too.
Oh, I
So
see.
you kind of have to give him advantages.
Okay, so it's really balancing. The stage helps you balance your characters, I assume.
Yeah, there will be items. We're making power-ups right now. And then boomerang hat we have considered.
That's awesome.
We want the boomerang hat to
Oh,
happen.
what if we just made a character boomerang hat?
Yeah, you just had a boomerang on his head.
Okay, South Factor, what would the boomerang hat character's name be? I'm just like brainstorming here. Like, what would you name a character with a boomerang hat?
Boomerang.
Oh man, it should be like a beach boy.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Todd,
Todd the beach boy. No, I'm thinking something like dude with like long blonde dreads
Oh, nice.
and a
Okay.
boomerang.
What about Boomerang Joe?
That's so lame. That's so generic. Yeah, well, he shouldn't be generic. He's got a boomerang. Man. That's so cool. It's like shifty, you know? Like,
What if we
he's
named,
like a trickster guy.
what if we named him like Boomerang Mario?
Oh man.
Yeah, okay. I think you're taking steps in the wrong direction.
Oh, okay, sorry, I'll stop.
No,
Mario.
Boomerang.
Chad.
Chad is good. Like, that's it, man. I feel like he comes from a beach place.
Or how about Channing?
Yeah, and what if he comes from Muscle Mountain?
Muscle Mountain.
We were talking about a place that's called Muscle Mountain in our game where it's just like a bunch of really buff guys that just tan all day. Like,
There's no girls. There's really no girls in Muscle Mountain.
Yeah.
It's all guys.
and then the mountain just looks like it's a bunch of muscles.
Yeah.
Is this how you guys normally
Yeah.
create your characters?
Yeah, we just like talk about random
Oh
crap.
god, yeah. Character design.
Come at me. Come at
Okay,
me.
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Oh no, he didn't. That's it. Cut. It's over. Owned.
Will there be character-specific levels?
Right now, the character levels are actually character specific. So the ice level is Cole's house.
Mm.
Yeah, we just need to put a little graphic of like Cole's house in the background.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the fire level is actually Kiara's castle, and it's like the current state of her castle, which is
Oh,
completely
cell
destroyed.
factors. I'm in.
Will there? Is it always going to be multiplayer? Will there be like a single-player campaign?
Sock's actually programming an AI right now
Yeah,
where
so
you'll be able to play like a single player where you smash the peoples.
Like in terms of first person stuff, right now it's going to depend really on how well the Kickstarter does.
Mhm.
But like we would love to add a story mode where you kind of find out all the backstory of the game with not a lot of dialogue, like very much almost like a silent movie.
Mhm.
And then if we can't get that to work, if we don't have the resources to do that, we're going to make AI
Mhm.
that you can just like beat the crap out of.
Yeah.
So I have this thing called Dunce Munchkins,
Okay.
which are like little rabbits that wear dunce hats.
Yeah.
And we're making a mode where you just beat the crap out of these dunce munchkins,
Mm.
like hardcore. And there's just so many of them. Like they are basically pests.
Oh, okay.
And people are not down for them. They eat crops and all that stuff.
I see. Okay. And we
To
have a question.
answer LT's question.
Wait, I'll just read it out just
Sure.
because when we do it. Okay. How do you guys approach designing and balancing a competitive game where it's impossible for you to predict all the possible situations that can come up?
wow, good question.
So-
Yeah,
Really good.
I like these questions. Yeah.
So basically, our company philosophy is fail as fast as possible, prototype, and test. So literally, we make something, and then we start playing it. We test it with ourselves right away, and we see how it fares compared to the other things in the game. And then we test it with other people, and we see how they react to it as well. So we get a really good idea really quickly of whether something's too strong or not strong enough. Because it's definitely, like you said, there's a lot of situations that happen that we can't and never do predict.
But so there's also another point, which is it's not really that important to have a game that's balanced, as long as you have several characters that are on the same level.
Wait, that's a pretty contentious point. Do you want to like elaborate on that?
Yeah,
Because a lot of people feel that balance is super important in like
Yeah.
competitive games. So I'm just like,
but
want to hear
the
more
thing
about
is
that.
that like a perfect balance is impossible. Like it's really, really hard to make it so that every single character is going to be balanced. And the more characters you add, the more the less is going to be a possibility to balance those characters. So what I feel is more important is just creating a whole bunch of different styles of character,
Mhm.
and then giving the player options for what they can do in the game.
Right.
Socrates had a really good analogy the other day for this concept, and he said like every character should feel like a different tool in a toolbox. So though you can like hit a nail in with a wrench, it's just easier to do with a hammer, and the hammer can also do other things that a wrench can't.
And you'll see a lot of interesting matchups. Like Snapback's hat is like super weak. Like if it hits someone, you're hit me for a sec. Like tiny knockback, right? And the characters are weighted, so washing machine is so heavy. So like Snapback's hat against washing machine is like it's like flicking some like fluff at a mountain. Sorry, it's like it's like it doesn't like knock him back at all. So as a result, Snapback has a harder time and has to get kind of creative against Washing Machine because like the hat throw, which is normally a very good option against lighter characters, like doesn't do much against the
Can we see
machine.
that? Wait, who's Snapback?
Yeah, I want to answer this question.
So back there.
Yeah.
Your boy Saw, what about Med?
Okay, I guess what Socrates is saying makes sense. That once the game is released, if things are found to be too imbalanced, a patch can fix it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say on that just is that there comes a point where something is just too strong, and then you have to nerf it a little bit. But like the general thing is like you don't really want to nerf too much. You kind of want to make everything else stronger because people don't like when you nerf their characters, but they do like when you buff their characters.
Right.
So as long as it doesn't break the game, it's always nicer to give somebody an extra little bonus.
Okay. And Yloon asks, what is Washing Machine's backstory?
Oh yeah. Well, so as we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, washing machines are kind of like praised in this world because since hats contain the soul, you know, they're obviously like they're very like sacred thing. Washing machines clean the hats, keep them all fresh. Everyone really respects washing machines. Fat Cat's washing machine though knows what Fat Cat's up to with this TV show, you know, kidnapping all the characters, and is so tired of like seeing hats like fight and stuff like that. And he kind of had like a little bit of a breakdown. You can see Washing Machine is crying all the time. Washing Machine actually never stops crying. So it's super sad. Whoever's playing Snapback right now has moves, but like so sick. You're doing some crazy things. So Washing Machine's kind of having a little bit of a breakdown, and like doesn't really want to clean Fat Cat's hats anymore.
And he doesn't want to be killing people, but he's being forced to kill people.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And also, Fat Cat doesn't treat his washing machine very well, so washing machines has a bad life overall.
Aw, I love Washing Machine. I think it's my favorite.
Washing machine is the greatest.
Washing Machine's so great. Damn it.
Washing machine.
Washing machine.
Oh, man, we're losing hardcore. Wow.
Yeah, as for
I'm getting
always.
ace from
Dead.
I'm getting ace from lace, right?
Oh, shoot. Oh, wow. It's a great backstory. I'm wondering as well. So, since you guys are I don't know, you're not that new of a game studio?
We're
Well, we've been making games since
2012,
2012.
Okay.
When did we release what though?
2014.
Okay, so our first game was released 2014, and then we released one in 2015, and now it's 2017.
Yeah. Okay.
Did we release in 2015 or 2016?
Calypto?
Zone.
Oh, Zone Villains.
Throw your hat, Victoria.
No.
Tired of running away.
Yeah, so it's
Fight me like a man.
No.
Yeah, the reason Calypto 2014 is because it came out in December 2014.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after that, Zone was close to the same as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I want to know, and I've been asking this for most people who come on. Do you have any advice for like people who kind of want to get into creating their own game?
Just start.
Yeah, start really small. Make extremely small things that you can complete fast, because it'll just be easier. Oh my God! Sorry, it's hard to talk and play.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we started. I mean, I think everybody when they start has this great idea, which is like a huge idea.
Yeah.
Always, like every single person that starts. And the thing about those ideas is that they're usually based on like really big kind of AAA games that they've played before, and then they have this really high expectation of what is going to be their first game, or what will be eventually one of their games. But when you're small, it's impossible to do these things at the level that they need to be done for them to be competitive with AAA games. So what I think is good is to have that idea and then understand why it's too much to make for a small team, and then to start making really small games, like the smallest possible thing, and then just failing at it until you're good enough to make something that's sick. Because I mean, this is the only thing we made that we really think is like at least half decent. Everything else is kind of Garbaggio. Yeah.
And that thing about the big games, the initial ideas, that applied to us as well. I mean, our first idea was like a friggin' huge game like Dota.
I'm more RPG.
While that was happening, it's great. It only took us like what, a month of designing to realize like, yeah, there's no way this is happening. We don't even know how to program.
My first idea before I met these guys was a game called Lantern that had 3 acts. It was a 3-act game. It was my first idea. I had no idea how to do anything.
So yeah, we definitely also fell into the syndrome of the big game idea, but quickly scaled down and adapted. So I think.
When you announced Garbaggio as a character.
It's like an open garbage can. Like that, he doesn't have his on.
Store hats.
Yeah. Or like Pack goes and he eats it or something. It's hilarious.
Okay, wait, we got like 2 questions. Let's see.
Okay, maybe
Stop
this
after.
character's no, sorry, we need to
No worries. Will there be a character taunt button like Smash Bros? Or maybe a quick animation button? So,
Yes.
answer is yes.
Yeah, we absolutely want that.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. And then, considering the small size of your development team, what is your process for evaluating what potential features / ideas are worth prototyping given your time constraints?
Okay, so that's for us. It's basically if you can make it in a day or 2, then it's worth doing it. So we try to make something as fast as possible and test it as fast as possible, so that way we can move on with ourselves as fast as possible, basically. So if we have an idea, we have an idea right now that's really like big and like kind of narrative based and whatever, but it's very unlikely that we're going to do that idea right now because it would take us too long to make a prototype in order to figure out if it's good. So what we probably will do is stick to ideas that take us about 2 days, and then bring them out to the public as fast as we can. And then we'll probably have 2 or 3 ideas that we can have compete against each other. So we say, okay, this idea, how do people respond to this? How do people respond to this other idea? And then the one that people respond to the best is the one we end up making.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
These are good questions from chat.
Yeah.
Just saying. Garbaggio.
Garbaggio's washing machine's lost brother.
And Garbaggio was like expelled from his family.
I'm so done with Garbaggio.
Garbaggio's expelled from his family because he's trash.
Yeah, he's literally trash. But he was the only trash in his family that smelled really bad. All the other trash and his family were fine.
What if the whole family is like appliances that has like cavities in them? You know, the washing machine has a cavity, Garbaggio has a cavity. The like, oven is the mom.
What about the blender? We put blender?
Yeah, maybe blender.
Okay,
What about
shave? Not me.
Wait, who made all the art again?
Socrates.
Socrates.
Nice,
He's
nice.
the man.
All that art. Okay, make sure it is. Okay.
And Chris did the visual effects though. I did the visual effects.
Alright.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I don't know.
Look at you guys.
No, they're really nice. I like the visual effects. Don't let Chris fool you.
They get in there.
He got a fortune yesterday from a fortune cookie that said he's more talented than he thinks.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
I think it's true. Well, my fortune does say so.
Must be true if you got them.
Drop! Alright, Dark Birthday, you're mine. I'm coming for you.
Which dark
The
birthday?
darkest
Blue
one.
dark birthday?
No, it's darkest Dark Birthday.
Blue dark birthday's
Blue
like shenanigans.
Blue
Our birthday alone.
I think it should be dark blue birthday.
Oh god.
No,
Dark Blue Birthday?
no, it doesn't sound good.
No, it's my blue birthday. It's a sad birthday. Oh, it's a sad dark birthday.
Dark bluebird.
Help.
Yeah, that's it. I will help you die.
Oh.
Washing machine.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. No. No.
Get him!
He can't do it forever.
Victor, are you exclusively playing washing machine?
Yes.
Have you changed characters once?
I have. I was the old man one.
Okay.
And unfortunately I didn't like old man, so now I'm washing machine.
There you
Old
go.
man is really hard to use, but I love the old man.
Oh
Oh, thank you, washing machine. You saved
Oh my
me
God.
and my hat. And now I'm dead.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Am I getting ace and laced again?
Yeah, soft man.
Oh my God.
I'm coming for you, blue birthday.
No.
Oh, it's a blue birthday. It's a
Oh
blue
my
birthday.
God.
Is that what's going on?
The washing machine plays.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm so sad.
You did everyone a favor.
I wonder if we're being too loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, nuts. Oh.
Let's just pop out and ask them.
Why don't we be
Whisper.
excited?
It's really hard
Whisper.
to whisper with this game.
I'm gonna whisper a lot of volume.
Oh man.
Oh wow, washing machine, that was insane.
How do you guys think of the powers for each of them? You kind of just have brainstorming sessions?
Well, what happened was we thought we were supposed to be going to the playtest, the Montreal playtest thing, and it turned out that it was we went on the wrong week. We're just like sitting in there, like waiting for the playtest to start, and no one's there. We're like, man, it's really weird that no one's here already at 6 o'clock. Really weird. And then we find out that there was no playtest.
Awkward.
So then Chris and I just like went back to Dawson and banged out all the characters in like one day of like their powers basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Okay. So I mean, I guess it's good that you guys didn't end up going to a playtest.
Yeah, exactly.
Never works.
So yeah, before all the characters were much more close together.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is that people were confused as to whether or not they had different powers. So they did have kind of different powers. Like one character had one jump and he was jumping high. But we kind of decided at that point, like, okay, we're going to make them way different. So it makes it really obvious they have different powers. Like, okay, washing machine can't move on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Kiara has 4 jumps and is going to fall super slowly. Dark Birthday's hat's going to be super strong. Snapback can clip onto walls.
Okay.
Yeah, and so all the powers are really based heavily in the same kind of route, like just movement, wall jumping, number of jumps.
Washing machine.
Did you feel bad at all doing that?
No.
No. Oh, I'm okay.
Oh no!
Oh my god, that was so close. You almost survived there. Oh, is this Ben? Ben's just been being like ruthless, so I have to like really make sure that something bad happens to me.
Wow, that trash talk is a bit too much for me.
Oh,
Come here, friends.
But it's clean trash talk.
Oh, Callum.
Oh, that's it? Is that how it all ends? Is that how it all ends? Oh my god, I just want to kill you. I just want to kill you. That's crazy. Is this recording?
I just want to kill you.
So is this game ruin friendships at any point?
We're really competitive.
I have 0% accuracy. Oh, I didn't.
No one can wire that.
Whoops. What was the thought behind Dark Birthday?
What's his story?
Okay, so basically, I think that one of the things about this game is that we like adding characters, and so it's really hard to add characters. Like, let's say, like Cole.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that good of an artist, so it takes me a long time to do things properly. So, like for example, Cole's walk animation, it took like 8 hours for me to draw because I really had to keep redoing it and doing it again and again until it was proper. So I was kind of just thinking to myself. At somewhere during the process, like, man, it would be really nice if I could just add another character into the game right now. That was really easy to do. So I was like, whoa, what if I take Birthday and just fill him in completely black? So,
yeah, I mean, you're being resourceful.
Yeah, exactly. And similar story with Washing Machine, who I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be nice if we could add a character? So we were at an event in Ottawa, and we were lying in bed, me and Chris, and I was telling him, like, yo, wouldn't it be awesome if we could add a new character to this game, like, right now? And he's like, I don't know, man. I was like, it really sucks that we have to do these, like, long animations. Like, what if we had a cardboard box character?
No.
And then he's like, nah, I don't see it, man. I don't think it's going to be good. I was like, okay, fine. How about this?
I love the accent you put on.
Because you weren't down.
I could just be a regular human, not down on me.
No, man, we're working. You're like, oh, I'm not down.
Tell me more about the lying in bed with Chris part.
Yeah, we're working together in bed, okay?
That's how we do. That's how we get our best work.
Who's seen Spinner? And chat being real funny. Oh, I actually have your finished Spinner. I'll just get it back to you. What's your postal code?
Oh, God, I thought
Actually, don't disclose your postal code on the internet. I've made that mistake before.
You could get a free fidget spinner though.
Wait, you came the hat spinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so down.
Hat spinner? I don't know.
Oh, I'm super down. Maybe that's Beast Lee. Snapback's master has a fidget spinner hat. It's like a shuriken.
Nice.
Also, chat, if you're seeing me check my phone on stream, I'm not being rude. I'm trying to check the time, make sure we don't go over. Okay, just gonna clarify. I'm very aware of like checking my phone on stream.
Well, who's Forrest?
Who is Forrest? Oh,
It's Chris, man.
Definitely not me.
Oh wow, that was
Oh, what happened there? Oh, that's an old man.
What were the inspirations for the art style and the theme of the game?
Nostalgia.
Okay, so there's no real like inspiration usually. We just kind of do things,
Yeah.
and then whatever kind of works, we just go with it. So we had initially made a game about jumping on people's heads, which wasn't super fun.
Yeah.
But also we kind of didn't know what the story was. Like, why are you jumping on each other's heads? So we're like, okay, well, what if we make some sort of thing about it? You know, like you're robots with a button on your head, you have to jump on the button to kill them. Or like, what if you're space people and you're wearing helmets and you have to crush the other guy's helmet and he dies in space or something like that. So we did this thing which is called 20 ideas in 20 minutes. So Chris did that, which is basically you come up with 20 ideas in 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So we had 20 ideas for what the possible story of this game was, why you're trying to jump on your opponent's heads. And he had one that he thought was hilarious, which was
That's common is great.
What if he's an Italian plumber trying to save a princess? Wow.
That's great, yeah.
That is brilliant.
That's the next one.
Wasn't there one like
Wait, no. What if
Isn't
he's
that
a,
Finding Nemo?
what if he's a Bulgarian plumber trying to save a princess?
A prince.
Oh, prince, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that.
But so then we kind of had this idea of hats. Of like, that was the one that stood out.
Character in the game.
It's
Yeah.
the best. I love
This
this
is,
guy.
This guy's awful.
And then when we were walking, sorry guys. But yeah, so when we were walking home, we were riffing on these ideas and inventing the characters. Like, what if there was a guy with a big ass hat and he was insecure about it? What if there was a character who had like a ton of money and was wearing a top hat? And then for the actual art style, it was just basically whatever we could do.
Okay.
That's
Has
why
anyone
it's
seen my AOL disc? Actually, no.
What is an AOL disc?
I don't
Do you
know.
know?
What?
What's an AOL disc?
What is that? What?
I think
We're stumped. Also, I want you guys to know I've switched characters.
Am I
the washing machine. Wow. Are you a snapback?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what we're looking at here is almost the OG lineup for the game. Like, replace Snapback with Kiara, but when we were first
oh my god.
talking about characters, these four were like, you know, they were like 1, 2, 3, and 4 positions. It was Birthday, Kiara, Captain Hat, and Cole.
Yeah.
So whenever I see this lineup come on, it always like brings me back.
Nostalgia.
Like these guys are the originals.
Yeah, actually, it's just not in. I deactivated it for this build, but normally it goes lights, camera, action,
And then it starts.
and then the game starts. And then we want to make it so that the lights are off in the level, and the lights turn on, and then camera, and the camera frame goes away, and then action, and the game commences.
Oh, take 1, 2, and 3. That's awesome. That's so smart. I love it.
Wow.
That's really
Yo,
smart.
man, Soul Factor. Ahmed,
Giving you the
some
ideas.
crazy ideas, dude. Loving it.
Oh, hola. Captain Hat feels much slower with his hat on now.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a little bit.
we
I like it though.
increased
It's good. It makes it really forces you to like, you know, use that speed boost to your advantage. Yeah. So Captain Hat, his thing is he gets a lot faster when his hat is off, and he's real slow with his hat on. We're gonna add a little like trail or something, and probably make his face go red.
Yeah, I think that's good.
To show the effect, but like if you're playing him, you have to like constantly be throwing your hat because you're just like terrible with it on. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned there's going to be a Kickstarter.
Yeah, there's totally a Kickstarter. We're prepping it now. We don't have like a hard date for when we're releasing it, but it should be around the beginning of August, sometime like in the beginning of August.
Look out for it.
So very
That's super
soon, yeah.
soon.
Check us out on Kickstarter when we're live.
Does it feel like Meta Knight or too early to tell?
Does who feel like Meta Knight? Captain Hat?
Did it?
Oh.
Wait.
Oh, we
Oh, no, Snapback.
I have to win this round.
Oh, how did you feel about most plays picking Snapback?
In the tournament.
We're actually not happy about it.
Yeah, we nerfed Snapback. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we nerfed
it was a
it.
bummer.
Yeah, they had for those who don't know, they had an actual event in Montreal where people could come in and play King of the Hat, and I guess everyone picked Snapback.
Yeah, she was way too. We buffed her that morning. We were like, what if Snapback was even faster? And then everyone picked her because she was just a really easy character to learn.
Oof.
And then we weren't happy about that. However, the finals match was Cole against Forrest, which I know a lot of people don't pick both those characters, so it was really great to see.
Wow, birthday, making
Oh,
plays.
really good.
Happy birthday.
That was
me.
Wow.
You're not perfect.
Oh, I forgot I was Snapback. I keep thinking I'm Washing Machine and I can't find myself. Yeah, this is like Smash, where it's just like, this is my character, and if it's not my character, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Hey, who's captain?
Who was the finals again? It was our buddy Costa against Andre.
Yeah, Costa and against Andre.
Yeah.
Costa's one of our friends from class, and Andre is a new guy who saw the game at Comic Con and really liked it.
Yeah, Andre just showed up to win the tournament, I guess.
He's like, oh, $50.
Really paid up for him.
Speaking of which, we're going to be hosting another tournament that's open to all ages next Saturday at Dawson College. And there will be another $100 cash prize, so everyone's tell your friends. Yeah. And some potential prizes from Warner Brothers, EA, and Ubisoft.
Wow.
Potentially.
We don't know yet.
So it's not set in stone, but there will be one next Saturday. You said
Next Saturday.
next Saturday. Oh,
We're going to post about it on our page. And Salt Factor, Andre played Cole.
Yeah, Cole's really good. I think he's the best character in the game.
No.
Although Chris disagrees with me.
I think Washington is best.
Washing Machine has tier, man.
Washing Machine's pretty good.
Yeah.
When we first made this is funny. When we first made Washing Machine, we gave him I think like 5 jumps or something, like 5 jumps and ridiculous mobility because we wanted kids to be able to pick him and win.
3 jumps.
Oh, 3 jums?
Yeah.
Okay, but at the time 3 jumps was like the
And
max. And he was just so overpowered, so we just started saying like Washing Machine OP, just like words you'd never expect to hear together.
No, but I accept it.
Nice.
Okay, so we'll probably be wrapping up in 5 minutes. So if you guys have any last-minute questions, please throw it into chat. If not, we'll be wrapping up. You can follow these guys on Twitter at
Hyroglphik. That's JEUXHYROGLYPHIK.
Okay.
I got that right, I think.
That's great.
I'm gonna throw them the link in chat for you guys, just so you can get it. And on Facebook, you guys are.
We're facebook.com/King of the Hat. Or Hyroglphik Games if you want to follow the studio. We have 2 pages.
Choosing that Hydro.
So
Everyone
Nice.
thinks Hydro.
Yeah.
That's great because everyone thinks I think it's Hydro, and I love it.
Yeah,
Which is great.
that's the Twitter. The Facebook is facebook.com/.
/King of the Hat.
Yeah, King of the Hat.
Yeah.
And before the stream wraps up, thanks a bunch, Victoria and Kitfox.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
So
So glad you guys could come on.
we hope to be invited back because
Yeah.
we want to play.
No, once you guys have your your beta or whatever, or once it's gonna release, I'd love to have you guys on again.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It was super fun. I'm in love with Washing Machine.
So,
And I'm
are you the
convinced-
blue one right now?
Yeah, he's best boy. Or she is. It's his best person.
Yeah, we don't know.
It's not even a person.
So when does the Shrouded Dial come out?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that at the end, but
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Nice
It's
question.
Really soon, eh?
yeah. So announcements from the Kitfox side, if you guys are interested. Moon Hunters just came out on Xbox One
Wow.
yesterday.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
So now it's on Xbox One, PS4, and Steam. So if anyone's interested in our game, it's there. Our newest game, The Shrouded Isle, which is basically a cult simulator, is coming out August 4th, and that is very soon.
Oh man. Shrouded Isle. Shrouded Isle is hilariously dark cult management simulator.
Yes.
What even?
What do you want, man? Fight me. Yeah, and you can follow us at twitter.com/kitfoxgames, facebook.com/kitfoxgames, and we opened a Discord server, which I haven't posted on social yet, so it's kind of like a secret thing. But you can join our Discord, which I'll link later.
Do you think people on Discord are generally in Discord or are they in Discord with each other?
Ha.
I'm looking for an answer here.
No, like, it's not Chris Day joke.
Oh, I made that one.
I think they're in accord with each other.
Yeah, I think so.
The hardest issue you've had to tackle so far in development. Wanting to make new characters, but having it take so long to make assets.
Yeah, that's a good
Definitely
answer.
one of the harder issues.
Will you ever hire an artist, or are you going to keep it between you three?
It would be nice to keep it between us.
Like we're getting better slowly, you know. So
But if it gets to some point, I mean, it could be a possibility, but we do have a preference to keep it small and the 3 of us.
in house.
Yeah.
Cool. Makes sense.
All right.
All right. So
Who's-
once
One more
who's
stop.
gonna win? Yep.
Hey, who's Kiara?
Wait, if we play again, I'll win the next round.
No, Chris, you're out.
Oh,
This
okay.
stream is ending. Who's Kiara?
That's all good.
It's Socrates, isn't it?
Oh, I don't want that. That's how it all ends. Ladies and gentlemen, dark party.
Hats off to Dark Birthday Party.
Yes. Can we go to the title screen? Is that possible?
Yeah, we can go to the
Okay.
title screen.
Yeah, so you guys can see it. Yeah, so that was King of the Hat. Thank you guys
Woo.
again for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a ton of fun.
Yay!
awesome.
We'll be
See you later. See
streaming
you later,
next
chat.
week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Oh my god, again. Okay, bye.
Bye.